turn my mic off. That should be. How are we doing? I'm late again, as usual. I've got all sorts of bugs going on here. I spent a long time. It's all looking different. I spent a long time working with Mark, who has helped me get everything looking all nice and fancy and all that sort of stuff. There is supposed to be a jar there. It's like a glass, and that seems to have disappeared. Why is that not there? That's supposed to look really cool. Oh, never mind. But anyway, welcome to the stream tonight. Oh dear, I tell you what. Oh, I have got a splitting headache this evening, and my kids have been nightmares. And it's going to be a fairly empty show tonight. It might not be particularly long. So you're all in the chat. Let me say a big thank you shout out to my third tier patron and above Patreons. We've got Reese, thank you very much. We got Tim, and we have Wayne, and you're all in the chat of course as well. So thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting the channel. All the links are in the description below, and something new that's now starting is all of this sort of stuff. You'll notice that if you do anything during the show, there are some bits and pieces that will change, and there's all sorts of things that go on the screen. You can see that this is where support is going to go. You can help support the channel, and that will change as things go on. You were having a really lovely chat before the show started. You've all been quiet. You are still there, I take it. But yeah, so we're gonna get on with the chat. We're just randomly whoop whoop. All right. So, Conquest magazine. I tell you what, there's no paint in this one. Right, so I'm going to start with this. There's no paint in this one, so we're not going to be adding any paint to the models that we've already got. And I'm going to have a chat about the ultramarine model. And I'm not going to be building him tonight because I'm going to make a show. I'm going to make a video about how to change it. And yes, you like the pictures. Yes, so those are all, they are viewer models. I used to have a really narcissistic image show of all of my stuff. Now my stuff's plastered all over the basis of Operation Social Media. So if viewers want to start showing me their work and so on and so forth, that is where it will start showing up. And oh look, there's me again. But anyway, so yeah, it will get on there. You'll get your credit, of course. You can't really see them very well. They're only there. But, you know, they are viewer pictures. So feel free to post your images there. So, where are we at the minute? We are on Twitch, which is quiet, which you can see. There's a counter up in the corner there, so you can see who's watching where. I was helping with Mark. Excuse me. Mark has helped me get all of my chat together, so I do have a bot working on here. So do you wanna watch something cool that I can do? So whenever if ever I get lots more people joining in the chat, I can all of a sudden just pop that there, and then all of a sudden you're gonna find out all sorts of links. You would be if you wasn't about to start cooking dinner. Wow. Yeah. Watch this back later. But there we go. You see all of my links go up there. It's a little bot. It can do all of that chat for me without me having to do anything. I do need to have a chat with Mark again, because he said I can get that to do it myself automatically as well. So there's a nice little thing. So you see things are starting to happen. You're going to start seeing all sorts of bits and pieces. They're all going to start going all crazy around here, and it's all going to start looking really fancy and stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to what we've got going on. So I think there's enough prattling on around about what's going on here. Shall we just change the camera and we'll get cracking on with this? Pictures. Who are the subscribers at the top of the page? They are on YouTube, yes. If you'll notice, look up Painting Studio there. That's Reese's Patreon pledge. So if ever we see anybody pledge on Patreon during the stream, that should change. Anybody who subscribes during the show to my YouTube channel, that should appear there. There is also sort of things like tips and so on and so forth that I haven't quite got set up yet. But you should get all sorts of bits and pieces that will show up during the show that we can have, that will just do all sorts of bits and pieces. I'm surprised there is supposed to be a tip jar on here that actually, yeah, whenever you do anything it changes. So if you like, it'll drop some stuff in the tip jar. But that seems to have disappeared, and I'm not sure where that's gone, which is a little bit annoying because it was perfectly fine before I actually hit the live button, and now all of a sudden it's disappeared. So I'm not sure. There's a health bar up the top there, which is, you know, health bar about what's there. What is pledging? It's what you've done on Patreon, Tim. That's what that is. It's the pledge. Who are the? I have Wi-Fi in my kitchen. Oh yeah, you can watch in the kitchen. You just can't build your models in the kitchen, though, can you? Not while you're cooking dinner. That's what Tim was saying. He's going to be building his models because I'm not going to be doing any building or painting tonight. But he'll do his along. But you can't because you're about to cook. But yeah, you can watch along in the kitchen. Yeah. All right. So let's get this changed. Here we go. You're really liking what I've done so far. Well, thank you very much. It is looking rather snazzy, isn't it? And if you actually notice, as your pledges go along the top of the screen there, I've spaced them out to the point where, and it's only in such a small spot, that each and every one of you pretty much has your name in that space at any one time, even though it scrolls along. You watch, there goes Reese. And then we got Tim. And he's on his own for a minute. And then we get Wayne as well. How cool is that? I really like that. That was really cool. You saw it in the test. You were meant to ask what the jar was. Yeah, it's kind of a tip jar. It's a nice little. It's one of those things that it's just on the screen and your actions can make it do stuff, which is kind of cool. And it kind of incentivizes you to do things. And also up the top here, where is it? There, get the right angle. There is a health bar. That's got my health bar, and then other people can actually knock health off of that, and then they can get their name up there as well for doing all sorts of bits and pieces. But you know, it's you know, it's going to take some time to get used to it. But it's kind of when I'm not just sit here and I'm talking, and you know, maybe we're watching, especially on the Thursday show, where all I'm doing is I'm just sitting here and I'm just painting, and I might have to concentrate on something. There's going to be things on the screen that you can interact with, and that's the whole point of it. You know, not only do I chat and you can interact with me, but you can interact with the stream. How do we make it do stuff? Well, what you could try and do is unsubscribe from my channel right now and then resubscribe again and see if that does anything. And yeah, if you watch any Twitch scene, you want exclamation marks like Maurice. Maurice is a $20 Patreon. That's why she gets her exclamation points. Yeah, if you watch Twitch streams, that's you'll get used to it. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's all about, you know, it comes from Twitch, but because I'm using the Streamlabs is what a lot of people on Twitch use, and that's where all of this has come from. Up until this point, up until today, I was only streaming from XSplit, but now I'm using a couple of different programs. I also don't have any internet pages open. I'm literally watching you all through my bot. My CPU is still screaming at me that it's not good enough, which is what that is there for. We need £800 to get a new computer. But that's what we're doing. Yeah, you're gonna give it a go. Give it a go. Let's see if it changes anything. I don't know if it will because you've already subscribed once, and whether you have to be a new subscriber, I've no idea. But we'll see if it does anything. And while we're waiting for that to go through, let's open this up. You just did it. Oh, okay. It didn't seem to do anything, I'm afraid. I am going to have to figure out how to do it. There is all sorts of things like mini games and things that you can do. There are... hang on a second, let me just see. Does this work on here? Yeah, there we go. So, I mean, this is a... this is when you put the exclamation mark points. Just by watching the show, you're going to... This is a Twitch thing as well. Just by watching the show, you're going to start accruing what I'm calling paint palettes. And I currently have 11 because, you know, I watch all of my shows. Yeah, that makes sense. So, and then eventually what I'll be able to do is you'll start being able to use those points on mini games and all sorts of things like that that are really cool. And I think I'm about to crash my computer. Is this guy going to be blue? No, he's not. He's not going to be blue. Fair enough, we'll just get the whole world to subscribe. Definitely. Everybody should be subscribing to my channel. If you're not subscribing, you haven't lived. Is this guy going to be blue? No, he's not. No, that's what I'm going to have a little bit of a chat about this this guy in a bit, and about my thoughts on him. But we'll have a look through the magazine first, anyway. Which, you know, pretty standard. I'm quite liking this one. We're obviously, if you've never played before, and if you know, Conquest is your opening, you know, you're starting to get your characters into your games. What have we got now? We've got Poxwalkers, we've got a squad of Death Guard, we've got a squad of Intercessors and a squad of Reavers. Now we get a character coming in, which is kind of cool. So we start introducing those, and as always, at the beginning of the we have a little bit of a chat about this particular character, which is a lieutenant, and various, you know, just information about who a lieutenant is and what does he do, and some fluff as always. And then this particular guy, who's Lieutenant Calcius, which, yeah, I don't know, very ultramarine-y kind of name, I suppose. So there's a bit of fluff about him. I believe this is actually a story about what he, you know, who he is and where he comes from, I imagine. And then we got some new weapons for the game as well, which is power weapons, of course, which obviously, you know, veterans already know what they are. But we got some power weapons, with power sword, power fist. Very nice. Power maul. I've never seen anybody. This is interesting. A power maul. I've never seen anybody use a power maul. In fact, I don't even know if is there even a model with a power maul available to buy. I have absolutely no idea. And the same with power axes. I mean, my Sanguinary Guard have power axes. Really, I don't think I've seen power. Oh, maybe Space Wars as well. I don't know about anybody else. And then lightning claws, and then, as what has been happening with most of the magazines so far, we have a specific battle at Nova Thulium, which I believe, if I remember rightly from somebody else's video, I can't remember whose it was, but this is the battle that Lieutenant Calcius is a particular hero of. Against the Orcs, which I think is the first time we've heard of Orcs in this magazine, actually. And then we're up to how to build Lieutenant Calcius, who also happens to be the first model that we've received that is not push fit. You will have to glue this guy together using either plastic glue or super glue. Ah, librarians, yeah. They use power axes as well, don't they? Right. Yep. So it's fairly set. I mean, the rules of the instructions are just as simple as the push fit ones. Only this time you have to actually put glue on where the yellow bits is. And I mean that's the same in your how to put your models together. And then how to paint him. Still no priming. But then again, like I think I said it last week, apparently these base paints don't need to be put onto a primer. Apparently, whether that's true or not, I have no idea. But that's just the way that is. So we're using the usual simple painting scheme that they've got going on. Still got no washers, so you still just throw and paint at the model. You're actually putting Death Guard green on the laurels there. And then what we've got here is we're going into another battle here. So essentially at the back, what I've noticed as well is that now they're going to start giving you different battles. Slightly lagging. Ah. Right, let me see if I got something open that I don't want open. I don't know. I've got nothing left I can close, to be honest with you. Everything that's open I need to have open, so I'm hoping maybe it'll catch up. Other than that, there's not a lot I can do. It's doing my head in. We need to get this new computer built. Right. So one thing I've noticed about this this magazine is that each of these battles are slightly different, and to teach you different things and try and keep it even. If you notice in this battle, we're using the intercessors and the lieutenant, but we're not using the reavers. They've stopped using the reavers, and over here we've got the Death Guard and the Poxwalkers, which are all we've got for the Death Guard so far. I mean, yeah, so far that I've opened anyway. So it's quite interesting that to teach you the game, they are trying to give it to you, in fairly even. And each week they're updating the rules. So that obviously they're giving you Calcius's dice requirements, I presume. I would suppose that's the best word for it. They notice they haven't given you a proper data sheet yet. They haven't even shown you what a data sheet looks like. They're just keeping it this really simple here. Yep. So I mean, yeah, they're going through that, and then going through the game about what characters are like, about the whole, you cannot fire at him. He's got the the Aurea ability, tactical precision, and also about the fact that you can't shoot at the characters when they're not the closest model. So starting to add those layers onto 40k. I mean, this really is. I mean, it's if you're trying to teach some kids how to play this game, it really is. And also, here we go, heroic intervention as well. That's a nice little thing for the characters as well. It might actually be worth, because there's rules like that, the heroic intervention, that even I've had problems with in the past. So I think that might be quite nice to actually, I might actually read this magazine and actually see about some of those rules that I've been having trouble with, especially when they give it to us in such simplistic terms, and maybe even not all in one go as well. And then we have another mission. Oh wow! So this is a mission where it looks like Lieutenant Calcius against 6 poxwalkers. So a near limitless supply of poxwalker reinforcements. If the poxwalkers are all removed from play, the Death Guard player may redeployment on the board at the start of their next movement phase, using the setup rules at the start of this section. They may be used normally to turn on the turn that they redeploy. Wow. And the idea of this one is remove Lieutenant Calcius from play for the Death Guard, or the Space Marines. Keep Lieutenant Calcius in play for 5 battle rounds when reinforcements arrive. Was FAQ'd the other week. Heroic, that is. Actually, that might be interesting. If that was FAQ'd the other week, does heroic intervention tally up with that, or is this magazine now wrong? There's something. I might have a look into that. I'll probably forget, in all honesty, but you know, I will mean to look into that. What have we got here? And then we've got some extra rules for adding the power fist and a bolt pistol into your game. And also, and using Repugnus as a character leader or something as well, which is kind of cool. Sean is watching over on Facebook. Welcome, Sean. Right. So that's the magazine. It's actually quite nice and simple. Actually, I'm quite happy with that. So the model. I've got some issues with this model. Now, I am not, and Reese will attest to this, I am not an Ultramarine hater. Not at all. I wouldn't say I was a fan of them, but I'm not an Ultramarine hater. But the fact that this model is an Ultramarine Lieutenant has left me feeling a little bit disappointed with the Conquest magazine models, because I am, how to put this, let's go back to issue number 1, shall we? Just bear with me just half a second. Now, the Conquest magazine is obviously designed for brand new players to the 40k universe. You know, it's designed to entice people into the universe, not necessarily for those who are already in it, even though it's good value. So, in issue number 1, they were putting in front of new players that there are green Space Marines, that there are entirely different chapters out there. Why, if in issue 1 they were enticing people into the hobby and telling people that this is your game, you can do what you want with it, there are more chapters out there than Ultramarines, and then the first character that the players that new players into the hobby gets is covered, I mean literally on his shoulder pad, the sword in 3 places, on his backpack, on his knee pad there, and even on the purity seals. He is covered in Ultramarine insignia. Now, like I said, I'm not an Ultramarine hater. I understand that, you know, Games Workshop need I mean, even on the front, I mean, it's Ultramarines and Nurgle right there on the, there you go, it's the Conquest logo. And I understand the need for having a fixed point in which you're going to sell your models from. But why have they given new players the understanding that the Ultramarines are not the only Space Marines out there? And then the first time they give us a character, that he is, for new players, unalterable as an Ultramarine. It doesn't really make sense to me. Now, it's a nice model. It really does look. It's a nice model. It's a fantastic stance he's got there. Let's actually look at the model itself there, in its made and painted glory. That is a fantastic model. There is no denying that. And like I said, I'm not hating on Ultramarines. I think that looks fantastic. But the problem is when I saw, let's just say for argument's sake, from issue number 1, and I've now got 6 Space Marines, and let's just go to this page. Where's it gone now? I've lost the page that it was on. Here. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that I chose to do the green ones because I thought they were really cool looking green, and maybe I went online and had a look at who salamanders are, and so I've painted the first 6 Space Marines that I got with the kit as green salamanders because I read them up and I thought, oh wow, they're awesome. I get a lieutenant through who, for a brand new player, can be nothing but an Ultramarine. Because if you think about it, you know, you're not going to have the skill to alter, to clip off the top end of his scabbard and the hilt, replace that, and then scrape off all of the insignia. Future characters are the generic ones, though, but I agree with you. Yeah, well, thank you very much. I mean, you yourself, you were an Ultramarine player, so I mean, this would fit for you exactly. But the fact that you agree with that is, you know, it just kind of points out the point. You know, it's kind of, if I didn't have the guts to alter this model, and I'm a Blood Angels player, this would sit on my shelf, probably never being touched. And I'm a bit disappointed with Hatchet or Games Workshop, whoever it is that actually designs what models that come in this. It was a little bit of a short sight, but yes, the future characters are going to be generic. We're going to have a standard Librarian Dreadnought in a few... a standard Primaris Librarian in a few weeks. There's going to be a standard Chaplain and some other lieutenants, I think, but it is just a little bit strange, and I am confused as to why it was decided. You see, the thing is, the other thing that I'm not so... One thing they could have done that would have made this so much simpler, you see this foot here? That's got a U on it. If you'd have put another one, exactly the same foot, just blank, and given us 3 shoulder pads, 2 blank, 1 with the U on it, not done all of this U's on here. There's 3, I mean there's 3 of them on the sword alone, and then not bothered with the one on the back of his backpack as well. That would have been alright. But, you know, that is why I'm not going to be building this guy today, because I've got some work to do on this, and if I've got some work to do on it, I may as well make a separate video for it. So yeah, so that kind of cuts the video short, to be honest. Well, I've only been here for just over half an hour. I've been through the magazine and I've been through the model. Um, so, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm going to end the stream right now, but I've pretty much done it. So, we can just sit and have a chat if you like. So, yeah. What do we think about the what do we think about issue 5 then overall? What do you think? What do we like it? Is it I mean, it's worth it though still, isn't it? I mean, for the magazines cost $7.99, and for all of the we've been chatting all day. Yeah, we have actually. But the thing is, it's you know, the model is the magazine's $7.99. Most lieutenants, they'll go for about 15 quid or so, won't they? So I mean, it's reasonable enough. A short working evening. I tell you what, actually, it won't be a short working evening, because when I've finished this stream anyway, I've got some commission work to do. I've been shopping all day. I've got some work to do now. That's the thing. What do people think? I tell you what. Let me just grab that out of there. Get rid of me rubbish. Why don't, while we're live, why don't we have a nice little look around? Oh, hang on. Let's get that up there. Get rid of that. There we go. What do we think about my nice new my cutting mat there? Picked that up today. That was kind of nice. You know, I kind of like that. I picked this up from Hobbycraft, so I'm quite happy with that. And I also, while I was in the range, I've forgotten where I've put it now. What have I done with it? Oh, there it is. Picked up myself a nice new knife. Grabbed that from the range. It's got a little bit of a knife on it. Right, so let's have a look. Short working hours. So basically, you say you built and paint Conquest on a Monday, but you won't. Well, no, I'm not. This one I'm not going to build and paint, because one, I've got no new paints. Don't forget, the only thing that I paint during the Conquest are those two. So, you know, I've got no new paints to add to those, but I will do next week, which is just a wash, so it's probably not going to take very long. And I'm not going to build this model because he needs altering so much, so that's why I'm not going to do anything today. I like it. I wish I got a second one. May try and get another one. Yeah, I mean, it's a good model. Actually, to be honest with you, if I did want and could afford to, I'll alter one and then paint one as an ultramarine, but I only have one available. I've only afford one, so I'm not going to do a lot. Bit strange not. I saw that. Talk about the shot. How much the works sell various size cut max. This is an A2 from Hobbycraft. It cost me 8 quid. Admittedly, I could probably have found it cheaper, but I was in the mood to do some shopping, so I went out and bought the it was an A2 mat. I do want to get some more though, because I mean, if we have a look along here, I've got over here, I've got a black one that's an A3, but if I move this one further along, I'll then be able to get another A2 one further along here, and it would all be green, and it would all keep my bench all nice and looking nice, you see. So that's I do want to change it in the future for another one, but they'll all be exactly the same. We get 2 washes next week. Yes, we do. I tell you what, let's have a little preview. I'm not going to open it this week, but we'll have a little bit of a preview of. Oh no, sorry, it's not next week, is it? It's the Death Guard. It's more Death Guard. Oh, I could build them next week, but I won't do washes. But But yeah, next week we'll be building these guys in issue number 6. Yeah, it's issue number 7, which is the washers, which is now that could be in 2 weeks or that could be in 3 weeks. It depends on if I actually get the magazines, if they wait 4 weeks before they send it to me, or if they'll wait 3 because there was only 3 in here. But I did have to wait 4 weeks after my first delivery, which was 2 magazines, so I did have a 2-week wait. One for my Ultramarine army and a second to try and convert to Space Wars. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what I was gonna. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. Is if I had a second Calcius, then yeah, I probably would paint him as Calcius, and I would probably do. I might build him. I would have built him on the show, but then I would have done a video on, much like I have been doing on online, saying how to paint him. I've covered my desk in cutting mats. It looks tidier. It does look tidier, especially if you start cutting into your desk. You never get rid of them. Whereas these things are self-healing, so they eventually stop. They don't look scratched. So it's cheap. It is cheap, is it? I don't know. It was just the cheapest that I could find there and then. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it is. I forgot. 7 is out tomorrow. Yeah, I mean that's the problem. I'm opening number 5 tonight. Number 7 is out. Is it out tomorrow or is it out Wednesday? So I am 2 weeks behind. And then if I've then got to wait a week, by the time I open issue number 7, I'll be 3 weeks behind. Which, technically my advertising is all about, I want to be opening the latest issue of Conquest magazine, and I'm not. I'm opening 3 weeks ago, which is a nightmare. It's terrible. It's not really a way that I want to be doing it, but sorry, I'm just checking to make sure. I see I've got a viewer on Twitch. Feel free to say hi. The chat isn't working tonight on the stream, but you can say hi in Twitch. And I still have a viewer on Facebook. Is that you, Sean? Or is it Tim? On Facebook. But not many people are chatting. Not on the other ones. YouTube is always where. You see, I've set up all of this stuff that you can see here has been set up with YouTube being the main source of things that will happen. But and the other things will change things at some point. It's just it taxes the computer a little bit. So we just got to make sure that we're not doing How's that? There we go. Ugh. It's the script. That's what that is. That's not designed to do that. There we go. I'm going to have to get rid of that. Let's change the tools. No, it's an extension. I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. How's that? Are we all back now? Oh dear. Technology. It's doing my head in. We will get there. We will get there. It will look good. It will be professional and it will be smooth. And it will be fantastic all the way along. And you'll be like, "Way, that was brilliant." One day. We will get there one day. There we go. But we're all right now, yeah? We're working fine. Oh, dear. Yeah, basically, you know that script that I was talking about where, you know, if I change the picture, it'll cut the mic out. Yeah, it did that. The script is enough for tonight. Yeah, I think. Well, the thing is in front of me now. Now here we go. Look, let's have a look behind me. See, the thing is, what I've got in front of me. Look. That's where the chat is. That's what I look at when I'm talking to you guys now, and that's my bot. So if anybody talks in the chat into the channel, I actually read it from here. I don't have any web pages open. No, not you. I used to have to watch the stream and have to make sure it was muted, but I don't have to do that now. It's all there. All right. But then what I also have in front of me is that, and that is what I'm watching now. That's live, and that is ready for when I'm ready to end the stream. That's going to be my closing titles, and it's already ready set up so I can sort it out. The problem is I don't know what I'm doing. And so I'm just trying to figure out as I go along. And because I had my closing scene ready to go, that has got the script on it to cut out the microphone. And it appears that even though I hadn't told it to go live yet, it decided it was going to cut out the microphone. So that's helpful. Every YouTuber starts the same way. Yeah, they do. It's the bot. There we go. Yeah, it is a bot. It's a shame. The trouble is, because of the delay, you can't really talk to yourself on the stream. I need a producer. Well, I certainly need a director. Somebody who, or a DP. Because trying to do everything all at the same time does my head in. It's alright on a Thursday show. I just set the cameras up. Right, I'm going to start talking. I say hello, change it over, do some painting, and I'm fine. I knew this stream was going to be a little bit different because I don't have a huge amount to do. Not in terms of building and painting, but yeah. So what, actually, I was going to have a look, actually, wasn't we? We were going to have a look. So we had, it's what we were going to talk away before we got distracted. So, issue number 6 is going to be the duplicated Death Guard. Which is kind of okay, because I haven't actually painted this guy yet. Because that guy is that guy that I'm painting along with the magazine. So it would be nice to see, I've got the other two painted the way that I want to paint them. So I'm interested in just painting that guy and paint him up all nice and neatly. I need a DP, yeah. Now we saw the bot, we can see the delay. Yeah, exactly. Right, let's have a look at what's coming up then. In issue number 7, we've got the Null Oil and the Aggro Associated. That could be in about 2 weeks' time. No, hang on, no, I've just opened number 5. Number 6. It could be in about 3 weeks' time. I hope not, but it might be. Well, I just have to wait, because that will be when I get my next delivery, which will also be when I get the folder. So that'll be nice. We'll see what kind of quality that is. And then in issue number 8, we have the Primaris Librarian. That issue is going to still cost $7.99. That Primaris Librarian, £22.50. Now that's going to be worth it. Not that kind of show, I hope. No, not a DP show, yeah. Unless, of course, you're talking about DP as in Deadpool, because then, you know, I'm sure we could deal with that. And the kind of show where absolutely anything will happen. Hey, you did the Retributor armor on the shoulder. Can you show it? On the Death Guard? Yeah, hang on. You're gonna make me, hang on, right, I will do, yeah, which side do you want to see it? I tell you what I will do, is if you just give it, my CPU is about to crash, so just bear with it a second. Yeah, come on, right, where do we want to go? We want to go to there. I'll change the, oh no, it automatically changes its focus, here we go. Put that there, and we change it over, push it live, just wait for that to change over. Yeah, my CPU is really struggling now, it really does struggle. There we go. Want to see the gold on him? I don't know why that black box is there, that's Facebook chat, I think. So this is, on this guy that I'm painting along with the model, is Retributor armor. If you want to see the way I do Balthazar gold on my other guys, I'll have to go get one. Which is here. That's Balthazar gold, but obviously don't forget that has been it's been dry brushed and washed down as well, whereas the other one hasn't done anything, you know. We're going to put the two together. Yeah. They are large pots. Number 7 is out tomorrow. Yep. They are the large pots, which means that you're getting £4.50, £9 worth of paint for $7.99. That's even if you just chose to ignore the Balthazar gold. It is. Yep. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, it says gold, but it's not. It's like a brass. Pretty, but I like the bronze better. Yeah, I like the bronze. It was more to do, actually it's supposed to be more of a brass. Once I've got me verdigris kind of down, it'll be, I'll verdigris them up and make it go. Gotta go, guys. Alright, Tim. Thank you very much for joining me. See you later. Yeah. Thumping great big black box over my screen again. Where's it even come from? I think you can see that I think it's graphics now as well. My graphics card is starting to struggle with all the information that it's got to deal with on the screen. We're definitely hitting that wall when it comes to the tech, and that could be why the tip jar has failed. It just can't cope with all of the stuff that I've got. You'll buy another 7 as the paint is cheap. Yeah, I mean, and especially it's Agrax, Earthshade and Null Oil, isn't it? I mean, everybody needs that by the gallon. So yeah, it's a no-brainer if you can afford it. I'm not gonna buy. I'm not gonna buy any more. No, I've just had a new commission come in actually, so hopefully I'll buy something for myself. Did you say £4.50 per large pot from GW? It's £4.55 actually, isn't it? Is it £4.55 for a pot from a pot of wash? Which would make it £10 worth, wouldn't it? No, £9.10. I think it's £4.55 for one of those pots of wash. And you're getting 2 of them, which would make it, yeah, £9.10, something like that. I'd have to have a look online for it at some point, but I'm trying to keep off the internet while I'm streaming, so I could have a look on here. Well, I'll tell you what, Wayne, if you found that list, feel free to email me that GW paint thing list. I'd love to see that myself. I mean, it'll probably be a little bit out of date by now because it's they've added new paints. So let's have a gander at this. Oh, I just had a tweet from Eternal Wargame. I might have to respond to that. I need more as I have lots of Death Guard to paint, so I need lots of large pots with your method. Yeah, you need a little bit, don't you? Yeah, when you're glazing with a wash, it kind of is. Yeah, it can be quite a lot. But if you're sparing with it, you should be alright. It will go further than it looks. Especially because a pot of wash, it will kind of. I've noticed that a wash will be like, it'll be full for ages, and then all of a sudden it will drop to about a quarter full, and then that quarter lasts forever. So you'll be surprised. So yeah, I'm just gonna reply to a tweet because that was just a bit weird. I've never had anybody sort of call me out on a tweet before. That was weird. I was gonna just have a quick look at the GW website myself and have a look at a pot of known oil, which we're just gonna search for here. Known oil. We'll search for that. Oh well, just need your email address. It's the conversion chart. 455 on GW website, yeah. My email address, Wayne, is exactly the same as my PayPal address. If you have a look at the bottom of in the description, it should be down there. The email, the address that I use for my PayPal, just send it there. That'll be fine. Speaking of PayPal and Patreon, if you're watching along, in the description on YouTube, you'll find the links and for my Patreon. And while I'm mentioning it, I have put it in the chat in Twitch as well, but I'll put it there again, just so that there's some action going on over there. Don't forget, I have 2 complete sets of Dark Imperium Death Guard minis. Well, okay, yeah, you might need some Agrax, and everybody needs Agrax. Everybody needs lots of Agrax. There we go. Considering I've just talked about Patreon and my PayPal, and I'll add all of my social media links into the chat as well. Just because I can. Yeah, so £4.55 times that by 2, £1.10, £9.10. Yeah, it's £9.10 for, yeah. I don't know if anybody else knows what it is actually. It's the GW conversion between the old paint, wasn't it, when you were using Devlin Mud and Goblin Green, and when they changed over to the Citadel range that they have now, isn't it? So if anybody wants to have their pictures on my stream, which you can see some of them are just there, look at that. Whoop, but no, that way. My spatial awareness sucks. There we go. So there. Feel free. Use the hashtags. You can use either B of OPS Live if it's nothing to do with Conquest, but you do want me to have it on my live show, or B of OPS Conquest if it's a Conquest model. So you can you can see your pictures going along there, and they could be whips, they could be full pictures, they could be, you know, a picture of an entire army, a picture of a single model. Do what you want with it. You'll get your, it will get tagged on there. You can't really see the tags very well, but it's not my work. We all need Agrex Earthshade on tap. To be honest with you, I could do with Agrex Earthshade in a barrel. You know, like a big, you know, barrel. You got it for GW Norwich, I should not have had it. Yeah, well. I don't know why they don't bother selling their big long lists. You know the long lists that they do with the different, with the tri-colours? So that you can figure out what colours go with what. I mean, they've got the app, but it would be nice. I want to stick it on the wall. Yes, please, love of mine, thank you. You'll get more from me. Yeah, definitely. Throw them all on the page. Do you want me to use which? What name do you want me to use on your posts, Wayne? Because you use lots, don't you? And you, I mean, you've got your reasons, but yeah, what do you want me to use? Do you want me to use your actual name on the photo credits? Facebook name? YouTube name? It's up to you. Because they'll get posted. They'll also get posted onto things like Instagram and stuff. So, if you don't want your pictures posted anywhere in particular, you'll have to let me know. They'll go on the stream for sure. If you're on Instagram, you'll get a tag in Instagram from me. I'll tag you in Facebook if you want me to. Well, if you don't want me to, you have to let me know. Yeah, the paint app is a fantastic thing to use. I use it all the time, and a lot of my videos are actually just me painting from the painting app. The difference being is when you're looking at the painting app, you see what I tend to do for you viewers is I look at the picture and I say, right, so this is what paints they've used, and they tell you what order they've used them in, but they don't tell you the technique in which they've done it. And that's pretty much what I'm doing in my videos most of the time, is I'm just deconstructing the painting app and just giving you the right technique to go with the recipe that they've used. It's kind of like GW telling you that to make a cake, you need flour, eggs, and sugar, and marge or butter. Yeah, that's what you need to make a cake. And they'll tell you what order it is. They'll tell you to, you know, you put your marge in your sugar, then you put your eggs in, then you put your flour in. But what it's not telling you to do is how much of each. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. Actual name, please. I will try and sort a YouTube channel out at the same name. Put my pictures where you like. No worries. And if you do come onto Instagram, then you'll get you'll get tagged in them as well, and they'll actually get popped up with your tag, which is what I did for Tim on my YouTube story. Not YouTube story, Instagram story. So, with the exception of Wayne, anybody else want to quickly... well, no, not with the exception of Wayne, sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. Does anybody else, before we end the show, does anybody else have anything they want to talk about? Anything they want to throw out as a subject matter? We've been going for just over an hour now. I think we finished the magazine half an hour ago. It has been a bit of a bit more of a talky video this time. We haven't really needed to chat as much about Conquest as we normally do. I've had a bit of a rant about it. I'm not going to paint him. I'm going to make a video about building him. We've decided that I need a new computer, or we've seen the evidence that I need a new computer, and that's what that bar is, by the way. Anybody, if you just wanted to throw some money down PayPal, it'll go straight into that bar. Some of the Patreon money will get funneled into here as well. It might jump up a few times. You know, when I've finished a commission, I'll add it to the bar, or some of it anyway, depending on what I need to pay for. On Patreon, they have had a post. You have had a post, aren't you? You're going to see all of the new parts of the computer as it comes together. As what I've said as well is that, and I want people to know this, is that even without the support, the computer will happen. I was talking to you, wasn't I, Wayne, at the end of our last gaming night. The computer will happen. The question is not so much as whether it will happen, it's just how quickly. So, you know, I've got a case and I've got a power supply for it. I got that for me. Well, I got the power supply for my birthday. I got the case shortly after. And so, you know, I'm going to slowly start adding stuff to it and start building into it. So it will happen. It's just depending on how quickly. It all depends on viewers. And with the support, it'll happen nice and quickly. And if you're supporting on Patreon, you'll be able to see it happen as it happens. Other than that, it'll just be a case of one day my streams are going to be stable, which is fantastic. But as I say in all of the end of my videos, don't feel obliged that you have to try your hardest and you have to figure out some sort of way to help me out. Don't feel obliged to do so. Do so if you're comfortable doing it. I am not going to pressure anybody into supporting anything they don't want to. Rants are good. A video about converting him would be great. Well, there will be a video about converting him. That's why I went out and bought a new knife. Yes, we were after a very close kill team game. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It was so close we had to have a discussion about who won. Wow. Yeah, that was a good game. I like that. That was a fantastically good game. I have a bit more respect for Admech now. Right. Okie dokie. I think, unless there's anything else left to do, I think what I'm going to do is I will end the stream here tonight. It's not quite 8 o'clock, which is when I usually aim for, but I think it's been alright tonight. We've done what we set out to do, and we've had a chat, and I've been out here and I've done my usual, I've done my Monday night stream, which is great. You'll see me back here again on Thursday anyway. And there will be a new video released tomorrow. I tell you what, before I go, let me tell you about what's going to happen on this channel. Because I tried it last week and it seemed to work pretty well. So as you know, I have a regular show on the Monday and a Thursday. Those are my regular shows. They happen every single week. We do Conquest on a Monday, and I do my Thursday night painting stream, which, if none of you actually know what we're doing, I will be painting this Blood Angels attack bike. I like Kill Team. Add Mecha Call. Never seen or used them. Yeah. Kill Team is amazing. And speaking of Kill Team, thank you for that little segue. Every other Tuesday, there was one last week and there will be one next week, is going to be Kill Team live with @Chick Paints, aka Reese. There's a shout out to you there, Reese. If you're still in the chat, I think you'll probably be hanging around there somewhere. Every other Tuesday, so there was one last Tuesday, there will be one next Tuesday. There isn't a Tuesday night stream tomorrow night, and I don't do any streaming on Wednesdays, and I don't do streaming on Fridays. So, excuse me, what I'll endeavour to do is there was going to be some form of video every weekday from me, as long as I can keep it up. So Monday nights we're going to have a Monday night Conquest stream. Tuesday nights are either going to be a Kill Team stream, or during the day on a Tuesday we're going to have a new video released. On a Wednesday there'll be a video released. It'll be some sort of painting video, a talkie video, or any type of video that I've done during the week that I will have. On Thursdays we'll have my painting videos, where I just sit here and I'll paint for about an hour or so, and then, well, about 2 hours, isn't it normally? About 6:30 until about 8ish, 8:30. And then on Fridays there'll be a new video, and I'll have the weekends off, usually to film and edit some more videos. If you want to see the videos early, you need to get over onto Patreon. It'll be a second tier Patreon or higher, and then you get to see those videos as soon as they get posted. So there's that. So most of my patrons have already seen the next 3 videos, is it, I think, which is basically this week's lot of videos are already available to watch on Patreon. I think it's 3. I'm fairly certain it's 3. If not, I better get one out quick. So yeah, so that's the plan in the future. There's going to be a video of some description from me every day, every weekday, and obviously with the more support that we get, the more stable that's going to get as well. So that's brilliant. Alright, it's okay, it doesn't have to be 8 PM every Monday. No, it doesn't have to be, but it is nice to get kind of somewhere, to kind of get there somewhere in the realm of being standard. I've lost my single viewer from Facebook as well. I think that was Sean all night. So other than that, I think that's pretty much all I've got to cover for tonight. So to Dan over on Twitch, to Wayne, Tim, Reese on YouTube, and to Sean, I think you were watching me for a little bit over on Facebook, I'll say thank you all for watching. You see at the minute, when I don't have many viewers, I'll actually call you all out. Maybe in the future there'll be so many I'll just forget who there is. But other than that, thank you each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure. Next week we'll do issue number 6, and then I will be back on Thursday to carry on with the Blood Angels attack bike. So I will say thank you for watching this one, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Alright, ta-ra.